Good morning, everyone. It is 10 o'clock, and we are going to have an incredible testimonial coming up. I just want to get up all my gear going over here. How's everyone feeling? Who was with us earlier on the workouts? It was a great start to the day, and it was quite interesting. We are going to be bringing Stacey just now, and Coach Kate, who've got an incredible result for us. To talk about and discuss. I'm just going to get my feed up here. If you just give me a second. There we go. Let's see who's with us. Comment in the below. Obviously, we've shifted these testimonials out a little bit just so we can spend a bit more time in discussing that. People can get involved. Please feel free to ask questions about it. Please feel free to, if you have any concerns or anything like that, we can take it from there and we can talk about those concerns going forward. Okay. Good morning, Kim Stevenson, Siri Harris, Vivian Gower, you incredible people. Jonathan Trott's with us. Amazing. Gillian, can we bring up Stacey's transformation and just discuss that, if that's cool? Just have a look at the picture in the meantime, what we're dealing with. I mean, look at that. That is just incredible. Stacey's got a complete body change down there, 5 kilos down, 8.5 centimeters, 1 dress size. And she's on absolute roll. She's got Stacey. We're going to learn a bit about Stacey just now. She's got her own HR business. Incredible human being. And she's been working really closely with Kate. So it's going to be quite interesting to establish what's made it work for her. What was her things that she struggled with before? What was her journey in the past? I think it's always interesting to find out what people's journeys are in the past and how they come to us, how they find out about us, how we change their behavior, and what is the plan going forward, and how we have sustainable change going forward, and how you take responsibility for yourself. I think on this one-on-one program, it's quite important to note that a lot of people who don't get the system, is a lot of the time they believe they know better. So they've been stuck in a rut of what they've been doing for such a long time, and they keep on going on that rut, but they don't want to get out of that rut to get a result. They don't like to embrace change. And this is all about embracing change and taking on different challenges and sticking to a structure that works. But you have to embrace it. And if you're not prepared to listen to that change, you're not going to get a result, unfortunately, and that's the way it works. So I'm very hell-bent on that system and having a structure according to your training, no matter what your outcome and goal is, obviously according to your plan, your structure and sustainable change with regards to your nutritional platform. The coach interleads it, and then we have sustainable change with regards to our behaviors, which leads to results. So, I think that is going to be that is quite interesting. What I want to do is I'm going to bring in Coach and Stace now. We have a discussion. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to field the questions live as we go in about that. Just want to say, how's Richard Caulfield, Pravashni's with us. They're all watching. Sambo Peter, all the way from Doha. You the legend, Peter. Kay Hoffman's with us. Daniela Wakeford's with us. We want to listen and listen. I look forward to hearing the story. So, Gillian, can you bring in our incredible Coach Kate and Stacey?
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
I wish
it was the first time I said hi, but I saw you backstage just now. So, hello. How's it going?
Good, and you?
Good, thanks. Stace, awesome to have you with us. You little legend.
Thank you for having me.
Your result is insane so far. It's looking really, really good. I'm quite keen to unpack this whole thing. We've got a little bit more time so we can unpack it. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
What do you do? I see you're in HR. Tell us about your business, what you do. If you're married, if you're not married, if you have kids, if you don't have kids. Tell us about Stace.
Cool. So, as you know, I'm Stacey. I'm not married, but I have another Jeff that I'm going steady with. So I've got 2 for the excessive easy price that they are. And yeah, so I run my own HR and recruitment business. Currently have 3 staff, and by Wednesday we'll have 4 staff and potentially have 5 by the end of next week. So it's been a all in all great journey for me, to be honest. And I think it's a lot of it has to do with this process. I think I've built another friend in Kate. Gets quite lonely on the weekend when she's not around. But yeah, so as I say, journey, business has been going for nearly 5 years now, and it's hectic. I'm full on. I'm working all the time, taking today off. But as I said to Kate, take the day off. With the joint thing, it's a little bit tough. But love what I do, and yeah, got to the point where I needed to love me again.
100%.
So hence calling you.
Okay, cool. And how did you hear about it, Stace?
So I actually, probably about a year ago, when I contacted Jules the first time, probably about a year ago, I had emailed about the one-on-one program then, and was like, okay, 14K, that sounds cool. Just going to carry on doing what I'm doing. And obviously lockdown, discovery, a friend of mine had actually done one of your classes and sent a picture and checked it out. And then it became the one-on-one in a month thing. And I was like, okay, this is affordable. And I actually lost like 8 kilos last year and then gave up smoking and picked up 7. So, I mean, it just was like, woohoo. But I gave up smoking, which was a cool thing. And I just was like, I can't carry on like this. I never felt good about myself. Obviously, then it would affect my relationship and just everything. Like the I don't care attitude, which isn't really me. So I thought, screw it, it's now or never. And yes, you find every excuse in the book. But I've got a trainer, and how do I do it? And then I was like, okay, well, it's just another breakup. What's the difference? And I've done every diet, and let's just do it. But it was just like a completely different ball game of me saying, just do it, throw into it. I think I started like in the middle of the month, and I was a little bit irritated that I had to wait till like the Monday, and it was like a Tuesday. And then Kate phoned me, she's like, just calm it down. So I think she got a good whiff of me from the first moment. Like, now, instant gratification kind of thing. But yeah, that's how it came about, you guys.
That's it's so interesting. You nailed it there with like the instant gratification. I mean, that is the global problem. It's like, I want results and I want them now, and I don't really want to work for them. You know what I mean? So, okay, cool. So what I've heard from this,
but it's also the concept for me was not only about the results. It was like, okay, if I'm going to start, I've made my mind up. Like, just go, like now.
Yeah. I want to go. Let's go.
On my plan. Yeah.
But also what I've heard is tried everything under the book. You know what I mean? All these different fads, all these consistency. Where did you find when you started? You started the one-on-one program. Where did you see your behaviors starting to change? Was it immediately, or did it take a few days to get going?
Sure, I think it's immediate. I mean, that's also my personality. It's like if I put my mind to something, I'm gonna go and do it, which kind of helps in this kind of process. But it was more that I mentally just took a shift. I think immediately. I think after maybe your first meal, when you send a picture to Kate and she's like, or like you do that exercise and she's like, or she's like, I'm like, Kate, I feel bloated. And she's like, oh, just stop being a girl and go drink a glass of water. And I'm like, she's so right. I'm being such a girl. And then you just hear my Jeff in the background burst out laughing. And I think it was immediate, but I think the biggest part about it wasn't about the eating and the, like, you'll get that vibe. Like 33 years later, and every diet in the book, you've yo-yoed your way through a diet, you've seen it. But I think having Kate, I think it's the make or break for me. It's the part of the process that makes you feel that it's possible. Like, I mean, I've become like a brand ambassador. Got mom, got sister-in-law, got everybody onto it because there's a belief in it. It works. Like, proof is in the pudding, as they say. And I think the big fear in the beginning was the exercise. Like, I've been with a trainer for 4 years, and how am I going to do this by myself? And you quite lack of doing it by yourself and just following some pictures and putting on a timer and doing it. But I think having somebody, you're not accountable to somebody once a week or every day when you go for a session. You're not accountable for a dietitian once a week. You're accountable for yourself, first of all, but then you're accountable to somebody who actually just has your best interest at heart. It's like, you don't even know that you're paying her. It's like your mate that just wants you to be okay.
100%. That's where Kate comes in, and that's where Kate is golden. I mean, you see, like, with Kate is someone. I love what you said. I mean, like, two things that resonated with me, like, very nice. You said, like, it was time to love me again. which I love, which showed that you changed your behavior. And then what you said about Kate just tuning you, saying, "Oh, stop being such a girl, man. Just relax." You know, that is Kate coming across in her empathetic and compassionate way. And you know Kate, by now you know Kate. I mean, Kate is the most emotional person in the world. And she channels that emotion so cleverly into her clients. She's incredible. You know what I mean? Kate, give us a bit of background. How's it work with Stace? Like, what has been challenging for Stace? How did you get into her head? What were the cues that you picked up, and how to handle it? Because obviously all clients are completely different. So what did you pick up from her in the beginning, from her story, what her requirements were to get into her head and change her behavior?
I think, I mean, look, Stace is a strong, has a very strong personality, and that's great. But I could sense that I needed to be quite strong with her in the sense that, you know, for her to drop and ignore everything else and kind of block out the noise and anything else she's ever known and just flip and listen, trust the process and give it 100%. And that's exactly what she's done. Sticking to the parameters, I mean, we talk about it all the time, but sticking to the routine and the structure. So I think initially she was thought I was a bit nuts by the calorie burns that I was asking you to hit. But then she was getting close, and then I'd say, cool, we're going to set a challenge and you're going to smash that challenge. After every workout, you're going to be doing this or whatever else. And she just rose to the occasion every single time. And I think she started to feel, you know, just feel better. I mean, she was like running and she like never ran before. And, you know, she was just changing as a person and not just seeing the physical results. She took the bull by the horns in that she asked me millions of questions. I mean, she still does. She basically will message me, can I do this? Can I do that? Like, what do you think? But at the same time, it's so cool because then she's taking the initiative to, you know, what I find really important with clients is that, yes, we're here as coaches to guide you and to show you the way, et cetera, but you've also got to take the initiative yourself, that you're also going to educate yourself and you're going to take control and responsibility. I can't do it for you. I can help you, but you've got to be like, I'm going to do this for me and I'm going to do whatever I need to do and learn and understand so that I can have a sustainable life moving forward. And I think that's what Stacey has done really, really well. She's educated herself through me with the program, and that's why she'll be fine. When, you know, she's still with me, we're still together, but years down the line or whatever, she's you know, she's built the foundation now, and she's been really serious in taking control of her life, and listening and yeah, it's just so cool when someone wants to educate themselves and wants to really take it by the horns, take the responsibility and know that the only way that it's going to happen is if they 100% commit and trust the process. And that's what she's done so well.
100%. I mean, like Stace, you're probably watching the shows when I've talked about like one-on-one program. I always say, I mean, like, I think a lot of our one-on-one clients who are probably listening in now or will listen to this later, they ask a question and I want a response right now. We're like, we're not going to give you a response right now. Ask a question, we'll get back to you throughout the day. But make a call.
You got to trust yourself.
Exactly. Make a call, bump your head, make a mistake, and learn. Act from it and learn. And that's what we're trying to install. We're showing you the way. Here's the training regime. Stick to it. I'm bloody good at what I do with regards to my prep. I'm not going to just give you rubbish. Nutrition guideline is there to change behaviors, you know? And it's like, there's lots of options. You should have seen the eating plan I used to have back in the day. Oh my goodness, you would have cried. Anyway, there's lots of options. And then
me freezing
through the accountability, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing.
I think that's
go for it, Stacey.
I think that's awesome because I know myself, like even this morning, so I've sort of, I don't know what I've done to my glute, and this morning I was supposed to do shuttles, and like the first round I was like, you can do this. I'm like, no you can't, like, so stop it. So I've sent Kate a voicemail and I was like, okay, so what should I do? And I think, and then like 2 seconds later I was like, okay, so maybe I'll do terpenes and running on the spot. I was like, change my mind, I'm going to do like shuttle, jump, shuttle back. And then I was like, okay, Kate, I've done it. Bye. Catch you later. Like, you do. And if you can't think out of the box or do something around it, you got to trust yourself in the process. So do I rely on Kate? And I know what the answer is, but it's always also nice to just maybe get that affirmation of like, Kate, can I have a Coke Light? My biggest whoop. I'm craving a Coke Light, can I have it? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I know she's going to say yeah, but it's like so exciting. But it's trusting in yourself to want to do it, and then trusting in yourself to what it is. And as you said, I mean, I was listening again to your one-on-one question and answer session yesterday, but the reality is you're going to set a goal, do it, but like know why you're doing it. Don't just do it because you think you're going to. If I'm doing 500 calories in a workout, it's because I'm going to have an extra piece of chicken. No, like understand it. Like Kate and I have set goals, and I think what I love about her personality is, I think it was last week or the week before, she was like, yo, we're setting your thing. With the week before, she pushed me to go to like 500 calories, and then she was like, yeah, I do 40 burpees, and then the next week she was like, yeah, like maybe just get like 450 calories. I was like, bullshit. What happened to the 500? Like, we were on a roll. And she's like, okay, fine. But then, so it's just, you've got somebody to push you, and as I said, to support you to get to the next milestone. But agreed. It's all about trusting the process, but trust yourself in that process.
Yeah. And I yeah.
Go for it, Kate.
No, I was going to say as well, I think what Stacey's, but what's been great with Stacey and the connection is that she's taken what I've said, my honesty, in the right way. So I can tell her straight that she's being ridiculous, and I have told her that. Or, we've had a call and I'm like, you need to pull yourself together because you're being a chick or you're being ridiculous. And she doesn't take that in an offensive way, obviously, because we have a great connection, but she understands that it's real, and that for me, like, and I said to so many clients, I want my clients to live a life that they're happy and that they're doing things in moderation, so they can have their odd Coke Light, but they're flipping training hard, and they're not eating this and can't eat that and can't do this. It's just finding the balance, working flipping hard when you're working, and then it's sustainable. And I think that's what Stacey's like, the pennies dropped, which is so cool. But it's just amazing.
100%. You know what I loved about what you just said, okay, it's like, it's not personal. It's like, if someone needs to be told, Johno, you know what, you're being ridiculous. And that happens, like that honesty, it happens in our business at the same time with our business partners and the guys that I work with. And I have a coach myself because I need a coach, you know what I mean? And like my coach is to be, and that's my life and business coach says, Johno, pull yourself together, stop being such an idiot, and sort yourself out. You're like, okay, you're right. You know what I mean? It's like having that ability to like resonate with yourself and go, okay, right, that is my grounding. I understand it. But it's also okay to be ridiculous. It's also okay to crack. It's also okay to shout, okay, Kate, I hate you today. And that's like, cool, I don't hate you, but it's okay that you hate me, but I'm going to get you through this. You know what I mean?
It's more like, I think in this case it's more like, Kate, I feel fat or I feel bloated or something. And she's like, shush, man, you're being ridiculous. And I'm like, you're so ridiculous, Stacey. And yeah, Jeff in the background, Kate, you're being ridiculous.
Yeah, 100%. Stacey, just with the 5.5 day principle with regards to your nutrition, how have you found that sticking to it for 5.5 days has made a big difference compared to probably before? It's like maybe 3.5, 4 days.
Yeah. So listen, I think from my side, the biggest part about it is that knowing what I'm doing. So knowing that the 5.5 days are, it's not more than 5.5. For me, it's like knowing that I have, and I remember the first time I said it, my cheat meal. And did she come down on me? Hell have no fury, like Kate. It's not a cheat meal. Called it treat meal and stop calling it a. I was like, yes, ma'am, sorry, ma'am. Like, I mean, I think it was the first time I really got to know her. But it was more about just knowing that I've done okay. Sure, I feel guilty, but it's moderative, if that makes sense. Or it's now made more of a rationale. So I know that for me, it's my pizza. So on a Friday night, so I'm Jewish, and I'll have my little piece of challah. And then on Saturday, I'll have my pizza. And sometimes I'll have a little bit of chocolate, and then I'll be like, okay, what have I had too much? But then immediately it's like Sunday morning, back on it, doesn't make a difference to me. So I do Sunday to Friday RV, because it just works better. And then when you go do the DOF thing, like, let's go out and have a few drinks, which turn into too many, and then you feel just cut the rest of the week.
It's just so funny. But I love where you're on. You can just see you in such a good space. You know what I mean? And you're so content with what you're doing, where you're going, and what you want to do. And what's clear to me is that you've got connection. The two of you have got connection, and that's great. But it's also important for us to note that in our coaching program, like, if you guys didn't get on, which happens, you know what I mean? Like, you have a personality clash. It's cool to change coaches and go to somewhere where you fit. I always say, you know what I mean? And we do that a lot. It's like, oh, I'm just not getting each other. It's like going to a bride with your friends, and there's a new girlfriend on the scene or a new boyfriend, and you're like, oh, he's
not so much.
I don't know, like, it's like, you have to have that connection, and we find that connection for you. We embrace it, and it's super important, man. But
I'm telling you, it's the make or break of this whole program for me. Is that, as I say, I've been to every dietitian and I've done the program, and I am a people's person. So 9 times out of 10, I get on with people. If I really don't get on with you, you'll know it. So I also call a spade, and that's what I think I love about Kate. But it was the make or break of, and I remember when I was at my dietitian, and I would have to, like, put together my meal plan, and the honesty would be, had a piece of chocolate thing, but it's like only a weekly thing, and it was like a 20 minutes. You felt like you were I was in a sausage factory and just being turned out and waiting for the next person to come in. And when we went into lockdown, I actually messaged to find out if I could go back, and the prices were the same, everything was the same, and I was like, I'm not really getting anything out of this. And then took the chance and gave this a shot. And having Kate, I even said to her, I said, thank God the business is doing okay. Can I pay you up front for a few months? Purely because it's where I want to be and it's what I want to do. It works, but it works mainly because I know I have a confidant in Kate. She's a coach, but as I said, she's my mate that I can talk to and know that I can have an honest conversation. She'll tune me out. She's like a person in my life, the people that I choose to have as friends. So it makes it so much easier, because you really don't feel like you're alone. Sometimes on the weekend, but that's just more like, Kate, where the hell are you? Not because I have a question. Like,
just needy.
Just
and
needy.
Probably going, leave me the hell alone, Steph. Give me a day and a half off.
Exactly. But also what I want to say, just one more thing I want to say as well, is that for me, Stacey's behavior and mindset changed as well. When after a weekend, she'd tell me what she had, or she'd be sending me her photos, and I could see that the transition from where she started initially to where she is now. So if for example, if she'd have a couple pieces of chocolate, she'd have a couple pieces of chocolate, not the whole slab. You know what I mean? And it's a small changes like that. Yes, that I could sense that she was understanding things, and that behaviors had changed, and that she was listening to her body, but in the right way, and understanding she doesn't need the whole thing, but then also they're not having to feel guilty about it. So it's just the lifestyles change, which is so great. But the biggest thing is that she's trusted me, she's trusted the process, she's thrown everything at it, and the results are there, and they're going to keep going because she's given it everything, which is incredible, and she's sticking to the parameters that we always talk about.
Incredible! It's such an incredible story, Stas, and well done. I'm super proud of you. You are,
and it is down even since there's a further. We actually hit just over 6, which today would have been the end of it. So we down that point
Amazing.
6.
Amazing. I think like, for me, I'm so passionate about this business and the people in this business. Like, I love hearing stories like this because you're changing people's lives, Kate. So well done. You know what I mean? Like, Kate's she dug deep. She's found your why you want to do this, and the why is like deep inside there of why you want to do this and why you want to get the program done. Stacey, you've embraced it. You've been vulnerable. You have You know, you've given it your all and accepted responsibility, and that's the most important thing. People who like when people fall away from the one-on-one program, they tend to blame because they don't want to embrace change. And people that don't embrace change don't get a result. And that's what it is.
It's an all or nothing program.
Exactly. So we grow our business through our clients. For anyone who's here, like listening and you know, sitting on the fence about wanting to do it, what would you say to them? So, you know, like that, shall I do it? Shall I do it? I don't know if I can do it. What would you say to that person?
Stop being a chick. No, like there's no reason. Like if you're a 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of person, then you maybe are going to struggle. But do yourself a favor. You won't know until you've tried. Like what is 1,750 rand if you of your life health for 1 month? If you really hate it, then sorry for you. But if you really love it, then give it a shot. Like, just stop being a chick. There is no downside to trying this. There's nothing, as you say, there's nothing that, as I say, yes, I've had to be a little bit careful on the online shopping to make sure that this could be possible. But it's lacquer because
priorities.
I can fit into the clothes that I've previously bought online, and I can wait to fit into even better clothes because there's nothing better than walking into a store and going, I'm a size small. Like, who remembered the last time that happened? So if you're sitting on the fence, like, don't sit on the fence. It's cold. Get inside, do something about it, and pay the money, guys. It's worth every single cent.
Prioritize yourself.
Exactly. As I said, I joked with somebody the other day, and I said, this Jeff makes me feel good enough to be dated by the Jeff that I'm actually dating.
Jeff is my new boyfriend. Jeff.
Yeah.
What did
I put up a picture and I was like, I've already been going steady with the Jeff for 2 years, and now I get to go steady with another one that makes me look good.
Double-headed.
Double-headed. 2 for the price of 1, guys, I tell you.
Katie, how can people get in touch with you?
You guys can just pop me message me on Facebook, Instagram. Otherwise, you can phone the Connect or pop the Connect team a message, and they can pair you up with me. You can also just message me and we can have a chat. There's no, you don't have to feel obliged, but maybe just talk to me and just see how I can help you and if we connect. But my biggest thing is you have to stop making excuses. You have to prioritize yourself. It's just that simple. If it's too expensive, I get that, but at the same time, see if you can cut back in other areas of your life, because feeling good about yourself, looking good, being confident, being proud, playing with your kids, going for those walks that you want to go that you feel that you can't go. You can't tell me that that's not worth it. And that's the biggest thing. Please, just join us. Join me, trust the process, and put yourself first. Maybe one of those people that doesn't ordinarily do that, but it's time to make that change.
Amazing.
Well said, Kate. Yeah.
Guys, thanks for joining this morning, and thanks for being vulnerable and open to.
Thanks for having us.
Story.
Sure. Happy.
You are.
Thanks, guys.
Exceptional.
Well done, Stace.
You're a fantastic reflection of our business. So well done.
And her mom's with us now.
And my mom and my sister-in-law, sure. My mom's with Kate. My sister-in-law's with Janelle, and it's so funny. It's like before it was what we're talking about everything, but now we just sit at a table. And I think my mom and I Zoomed like WhatsApp called like 4 times last night because she started today, and I was like, download this app, and this is what your exercise will be, and this is how do you know how to do this? No, okay, well, you're coming here today. Let's have a chat about it. And it's such healthy talk because you're all talking about just being healthy and fit and feeling good, and there's nothing better than when someone you haven't seen notices you look good. Like, who the hell doesn't want compliments on a daily basis? And this makes it possible.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks so much.
Amazing. Thanks, Johno.
Thanks, guys.
You guys are amazing. Both of you. Proud of you.
Thank you. Well done, Stace.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Cool. Cheers, guys. Incredible. Can we just bring up the transformation again and just see, like how well Stace has done so far? I mean, if you look at that, it's like it's over 6 kilos now, she says, over 10 centimeters, and heading towards two dress sizes down. Just incredible body shape change. Everyone's got different shapes in their body. It's just exceptional. Guys, thanks, Julian. You can take it on. It's basically, what we're doing is we just look at your training, your nutrition, marrying the two together, and having a ballistic coach who's going to guide you through. But they're not going to be there every single second of the day. They're there to show you the way, to guide you, to be accountable to. We'll show you the system, but you've got to embrace it and take the opportunity yourself. I don't know if anyone here has got a question for the next 2 or 3 minutes, but, it is incredible training according to a plan, building your foundation and building your house of rocks. Sustainable nutritional platform. No tricks of the trade here. No fasting, none of this nonsense. Sustainability, that is what we coach. And we increase it and we change that mindset and behaviors. It's all about behavior change, and that is what it is. Clean, honest, fun. We want you to get a result. We grow our business through you guys getting a result, and that is the most important thing. Okay, so guys, if anyone is asking and anyone wants any information, please go to jeff.fitness, www.jeff.fitness. Speak to our Connect team. They're waiting there for you. We've got an incredible bunch of coaches from different range of background, Olympic athletes, people from business, people from a psychology background. All these people trading this information. We work together. We work through clients together. We are looking at the different behavior changes, how we can improve the system. We've improving our tech capability, and that'll just keep on improving as it goes on. And it's in over 110 countries around the world. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can change your behaviors. Have a lovely day. If you have any questions, please shoot me a direct message. I'll send it across to you, our Connect team, or I'll answer it myself if I've got a second. And just get involved. Don't sit in the fence. Change your life. While it stays, while it catch, you guys are exceptional. Have an amazing day, guys. And then we will talk to you at Durkee's session. At 12. Sorry about that. We have Jeff Flow at 1:45. We have Jeff Flow at 12 o'clock. So Kathleen will be with you, and we'll speak to you then. Cheers.